Star Wars has always been surrounded by criticism. Whether that criticism is directed to the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy, or any of the various other tales told within the Star Wars galaxy. Everyone has their opinions, but there's one thing most Star Wars fans can agree on. The Star Wars Holiday Special is pretty bad. George Lucas famously said, if I had time and a sledgehammer, I'd track down every copy of that show and smash it. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that after its original airing in 1978, Lucasfilm disavowed its existence and it's never been broadcast again. It's never had an official video release, nor has it produced any merchandise. Well, today in the Art Lab, we're going to correct one of those injustices. Okay, maybe injustice is too strong of a word, but this often ignored slice of Star Wars history has gained somewhat of a cult following over the years. So, I'm taking up the charge of creating movie trading cards based on the much maligned Star Wars Holiday Special. Okay, I have to cut in here and make a small retraction because as I was recording this video, I was alerted to the fact that Hasbro has announced a Star Wars Holiday Special Chewbacca Life Day action figure. So who knows, by this time next year, if it's successful, maybe we'll finally get that B. Arthur bartender action figure. But until then, let's make some Star Wars Holiday Special trading cards. So without any further delay, join me, Scott Serkland, in the Art Lab. Let's suit up. Like most people, I share the opinion that the Star Wars Holiday Special is one of the most bizarre, scratch your head in disbelief, wondering what the heck they were thinking moments ever associated with Star Wars. However, unlike most people, it does hold a special place in my heart because I witnessed this disaster piece unfold the night of its original airing back in 1978. I remember specifically sitting on the couch with my cousins at my aunt and uncle's house, awaiting the premiere, and then wondering, what the heck was I watching? You have to understand, it wasn't like today. Back then, kids were starving for anything Star Wars. You took what you could get, and by God, you liked it. Say what you want about any of the faults about the Star Wars Holiday Special, and in retrospect, believe me, I agree. But if they would have made Star Wars Holiday Special toys and collectibles back then, believe me, I would have begged my parents for them. So let's roll back the clock and imagine what a set of Star Wars Holiday Special trading cards would have looked like. First, I'm going to scan the internet and get inspiration from actual Star Wars trading cards. I want these holiday cards to resemble the original set of Star Wars cards, but with a few alterations specific to the special. I'm going to copy an example of the front and back of those cards to use as a template. Now I'll grab some images of Ralph McQuarrie's concept art of Chewbacca's home planet of Kashyyyk that's featured prominently in the special. I'll convert the concept art to grayscale and adjust the levels in Photoshop to give it a line art look. Next, I'll convert it to vector art in Adobe Illustrator. The backs of the classic Star Wars cards featured movie facts and an image of an X-Wing flying toward the Death Star. Instead, I'm going to have the Millennium Falcon approaching Kashyyyk. I'll apply the same techniques to this image of the Falcon, then add the two elements together. Now I'll recreate the back of the card using the shape and pen tools in Illustrator. I ended up using a few different Star Wars fonts that I downloaded from DaFont and combined them to get the right look. I'll place the copy for the movie facts into my layout. Onto the front of the card where I recreated the original layout in Adobe Illustrator. I'll drop in the logo and add some additional type to indicate that this set is for the Star Wars Holiday Special. Next, I'll add the card number, copyright notice, and card description. After I have the border the way I want, I'll begin to add some color. The original Star Wars card series were in this order: blue, then red, yellow, green, and orange. The next logical color to consider would probably be purple. However, that didn't really scream holidays to me. And even though Christmas doesn't exist in the Star Wars universe, the Wookiees wore red robes to celebrate Life Day. And the first series in both The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi cards were also red. So I continued that tradition, but added white and green to the logo burst graphic to distinguish them from the yellow and blue on the original cards. I'll go ahead and keep the colors on the back of the card true to the original. I want to give it a weathered look, so I'll drop this craft paper texture into Photoshop and add the multiply filter to it. Next, I'll search the internet for some still photos that will look good on the cards. Now it's just a matter of placing the photos into the template and adding the card descriptions. Because I can fit 9 cards on a standard 8.5 by 11 page, I'm going to have to narrow my images down to 9. But this special is like a 70s variety show, and there is so much ridiculous stuff going on here. I mean, what do I feature? I mean, the first 15 minutes is Chewbacca's family doing random extraneous chores while speaking in a Wookiee dialect with no subtitles. The honeymooners Art Carney as a space trader who deals in, among other things, virtual reality space porn machines.
Wow. You know what I mean?
Chewbacca's dad Itchy getting his rocks off while watching space porn 3 feet away from his daughter and son. Can a Wookiee get any privacy?
You see, I am your fantasy. I am your experience. So experience me.
The highlight of the special featuring the first appearance of Boba Fett in animated form.
Boba Fett, no!
Any of the various odd character portrayals by the Carol Burnett show's Harvey Korman.
Taste and see how it's coming along.
Golden Girl B. Arthur as a singing bartender who's assumed ownership of the Mos Eisley Cantina. One good thing about this scene is we get to see some of the original Cantina creatures that we only got a glimpse of in the original Star Wars. And of course there's Carrie Fisher's performance where she puts lyrics to John Williams' original score. Who asked for this? I'll take all of the cards and drop them into this pre-made template that you can get for free if you're a member of my mailing list. You'll also get the free Comic Maker Starter Kit packed with additional assets that you can use for your creative projects when you sign up for my mailing list at Serkworks.com. In addition, select tiers of my Patreon will receive additional templates and layered Photoshop files containing all of these cards. Most card packs also included a sticker, so I'm going to create a sticker featuring Mark Hamill as he appeared in the Star Wars Holiday Special, with pancake batter makeup and a Malibu Ken haircut. Have you seen the Star Wars Holiday Special? Let me know your favorite or least favorite moments by leaving a comment. I want these stickers to look authentic, so I added this outer space image to the background. Looks pretty legit to me. Because the trading cards of this era were packed in wax wrappers, I'll design a wrapper similar to the ones we used to see back in the day. I created this illustration of Chewbacca holding a Life Day orb as our cover image. Now to drop the logo into this wax pack template that can be found in my newsletter archives. Then add some color and a vintage off-register printed look for good measure. So we have our designs printed out. Now let's assemble them. I printed the backs of the card on chipboard and the front of the cards on white copy paper. I'll glue these two sides together using spray adhesive. Now to cut them out with an X-Acto knife and a metal ruler using the crop marks indicated on the template. The stickers can be kiss cut on a Cricut machine or by hand using an X-Acto knife. If you're going to attempt a hand-done kiss cut, just press down very lightly with the X-Acto knife and don't cut all the way through the cardstock. Next, I'll cut out my wrapper label. I'll leave a link to where you can find my video on how to create wax packs at the end of this video. The wax pack video goes into further detail about applying the wax, wrapping the cards, and sealing them all up. Once again, we've done it. Another vintage childhood memory recreated in a way that never existed before. Here, have a closer look. Well, that's a wrap. As bad as these puns are, it's nothing compared to the cringe factor you get from the original, infamous Star Wars Holiday Special. If you like this video, make sure to shove those like and subscribe buttons like Han Solo would a stormtrooper over a poorly constructed railing. And if you'd like to see me reverse engineer more classic nostalgia from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you can click on this video right up here.